I'm Ilona Pitt, and this is Meet Britain's Makers, Made in the Midlands TV series that brings you interviews with top manufacturing and engineering leaders from the region. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and visit madeinthemidlands.tv for fresh content that we produce weekly. Today, I'm particularly excited to introduce you to Lady MD, the one and only Kirsty Davies-Chinnock of Professional Polishing Services. Kirsty, great to have you here today. How are you?
Thank you for inviting me along. I'm really pleased to be here. I've been watching some of the other interviews on your YouTube channel, and they've been really good.
Mm-hmm. That's fantastic. So Kirsty, first of all, could you tell us about PPS, what you do and what sort of customers you service, what sort of services do you provide?
Professional Polishing is a polishing company where we do what it says on the tin. When people think about polishing companies, they tend to think about little small tiny dirty factories with people hand polishing knives and forks and brass light switches.
Okay.
We're slightly different. We're the market leader in the UK. We're the largest in what we do in the UK. We have a 40,000 square foot factory, and we polish about 25,000 tonnes of stainless steel every year.
Every year.
We do flat products, so large plates, hundreds and hundreds of ton packs of sheet. They all go through automatic machines, and they go into sectors such as the architectural, nuclear, pharmaceutical, food and drink, pretty much anything that you can think of that has stainless steel, where it either needs to do a job or it needs to look nice.
Okay, so there must have been some really exciting projects along the way. Is there anything in particular you're proud of and would like to share with our audience?
That's quite a difficult one. The majority of our customers are stockholders, so we don't always know what the finish is going into. But when it is a large project, when it's either very technical or whether it's for a very important architectural design, we tend to get involved at the front end with the designers, with the engineers. In the 90s, we polished most of Dubai. They went mad for mirror polished stainless steel and clad most of their hotels and buildings with it. We've done a lot of pharmaceutical and nuclear work. We've done work that's gone into bridges on the M6. Recently, though, in the last 12 months, one of the most noticeable projects we've been involved with is Grand Central, Birmingham New Street Station, and we polished about half of that.
Yeah, it's a truly fabulous building. If you look at it, very bright, very polished, definitely. So yeah,
it is. They're actually sort of dulling down one aspect of it, because the sun's reflecting off it and causing issues for the taxi drivers in the taxi rank. But it is an interesting project, and I think the building itself is going to become quite iconic as years go by.
That's true. So have you invested this year into your factory, and what are your growth plans for next year?
In January this year, we installed a brand new multi-head plate polishing line. There is nothing like it in the UK at all. It's the first one of its kind in the UK. It cost a lot of money. It's our biggest investment to date. I offered my son in payment of the machine, but unfortunately they wanted cold hard cash. But it's been absolutely fantastic, this machine. It's added 50 to 60% extra revenue on that section, which is just wonderful. And our plans for next year, well, at the moment we're currently installing yet another new line on our door polish sheet section, so that's going to give extra capacity. And then I've got a couple of things I'm looking at that involve different finishes for next year.
Oh, great. So some exciting things ahead. And in terms of challenges that your industry faces, what would you think that is?
Our industry has always faced challenges. Being in the stainless steel industry for 27 years now, we've gone through 4 recessions. We've had an awful lot of press recently with steel mills, and also the knock-on effect with stainless steel, with companies closing, with cheap material coming in from the Far East, There's been some progress with anti-dumping laws, but the issue for us is because we polish other people's material, when people in the past have bought really sort of cheap stainless steel, when you're trying to polish it, it doesn't perform as well as good quality material from the Far East as well, or from European mills. So it can make our life a little bit difficult to sort of actually get the finish that's required.
Yes, it's not really your fault, so it is probably quite frustrating as well.
It is, but our job is to make our customers happy. They send us metal, you know, they want us to give them what they want. If the material can't do that, bearing in mind they'll have paid for it in advance, and it's very hard to reject 20 tonne on someone in China, then we sort of really need to solve the problem for them. So that's been quite interesting.
Okay, so how did you get into manufacturing?
I went to PPS for 6 weeks on the 1st of June 1989 in between college courses, and never left.
Never left.
I really enjoy it. I've been so lucky over the last 27 years to do a job that is on a daily basis interesting and exciting.
So what part is that you enjoy the most?
Part I enjoy the most, it's changed as I've got older. It used to be winning the contract, you know, getting that new business, that was just fantastic. I actually find I enjoy it more now when the commercial team win the contract, when they've gone out and they've done the work and they come in and go, I've just won this order, I've just won this contract. And I actually get more pleasure in seeing how pleased they are from doing that. At the moment, the part of the job I enjoy the most is looking at plans for the future, investigating new machines, investigating new finishes, and looking at ways to make us even bigger and better.
So what's your management style then? You said you're happy when people come with orders, obviously, but I think with PPS it's this sort of like a family feel to it. So how do you manage to achieve that and keep your staff happy? And, you know, it is a great company, I've been there. So what do you do to make it happen like that?
Well, I mean, we've got people who've worked for us for 25, 30 years, you know. Our new people have only been there 10 years.
Yeah.
My management style is I'm a very driven, dominant personality. I'd like to say I conduct. I employ grown-ups. I expect them to go out and do their job without me micromanaging them. I expect them to achieve their targets, and I expect them to get fun out of doing it, and I like rewarding them when they do that.
Fantastic. In terms of your industrial estate, I think there's about 26 new units being created. So how is this going to affect PPS? Are you expecting to create new jobs? What's going to happen there?
We are so excited about the development on the estate. We've suffered for the last 5 years with the estate not having an owner. Now we've got one. He's got some great vision for the estate. And yes, he's building on the empty compound that's opposite us a variety of small units. I have my eye on one of them. We would like to come to an agreement and perhaps buy that from them. We are expanding, we're installing new lines, we're running out of space. So having this sort of extra unit would mean we'd put a specific finish section over there. It's a long way away, it might not come off, but hopefully we'll be able to do that.
Great, I really wish you success in that space. As you know, manufacturing is really a male-dominated industry. You know, what do you think we can do to encourage more women into manufacturing? And why is this actually the case? Because here at Made in Midlands, we're trying to champion women through our, for example, Made in the Midlands Awards, the Manufacturing Achievement Award for women in particular. What's your opinion and vision on that?
It starts in the playground. You know, a long time ago, manufacturing, factory work was seen as hard, sweaty, dirty, and men are stronger than women, and so the majority of the workforce was men. That translated into offices in the 70s and 80s. You might have secretaries, but it would be unlikely you'd have female engineers, female salespeople, and things like that. as manufacturing has developed and become much more smart, there's a lot less heavy lifting involved. You know, you don't need to be 6'2" and weigh 20 stone to run one of our polishing lines. I run some of our polishing lines and I'm small. So I think it's starting in the playground. It's not looking at male roles and female roles. You know, anybody can learn about an industry and become successful in that industry. You know, there isn't any proof, as far as I know, that men are suited to manufacturing and women aren't. It's a run-on from traditional basis from earlier in the century. And I think we need to talk to girls in schools. We need to promote STEM more and not see it purely as a male environment. And it's good fun, you know. We've got a mix of male and female workers, and there's no difference between them in how they do their jobs.
That's true. I mean, as I said, we just have to encourage it from early on. But in a nutshell, what will be your message to women that want to, maybe how to encourage them and how to take this career path? Your message in, let's say,
if you're interested in STEM and you want to be involved in a day-to-day basis, then look at manufacturing or engineering. Because you're still going to be in the minority, that gives you an opportunity to stand out against your peers, to be the one that they remember, to be the one that they will notice. That's not always a bad thing. You can use that to your advantage. And while the case is that there are a lot less women in industry, make sure that you're the one they remember for the right reasons.
That's great. On this note, I would like to thank you for coming to our studio, Kirsty. It was great talking to you. Great message to women. So I hope girls just do it. It's a great industry to be in. I encourage you to subscribe to our channel once again. Visit madeinthemidlands.tv and see you again soon. Kirsty, thank you.
Thank you.